So I was streaming the other day and one of my viewers brought to my attention this mod, and honestly I was really curious about it. I've never seen really a mod like this, and for those who don't know, this mod is called Split Mod. It's honestly very unique and it adds a bunch of new bosses, weapons, building items. It is sick. So today we're just going to be reviewing some of the weapons, items, and bosses. We're not going to go through everything because I want you guys to have something to explore and see for yourselves, and I just think that would make it a better experience for all of you. But we're still going to review a couple things, and yeah, let's get into it. Now, before this video starts, it seems as though 99% of you are not subscribed. If you like these videos and you want to see more, please subscribe. It helps this channel a lot. Alright, now let's get into it. Now, before we even start, this is on the 1.3 Tmod loader version, and the developers are working really hard on getting 1.4 to be released. Make sure to check the description because I will be updating it once 1.4 releases for this mod. So for now, I'm just going to show you guys some of my favorite weapons and a few of the bosses, since I still want you guys to have something to explore on your own. But for the first weapon, we have the Trader's Requiem, and this weapon is a pretty powerful magic weapon, and it comes in at about 46 base magic damage. And I mean, the animation is really sick. You get a couple projectiles, you get some area damage, and it follows your cursor. And against a huge swarm of pinkies, they don't even stand a chance. The next weapon in our list is the Magnet Scarab with 80 base magic damage. It's quite the powerhouse, especially for how sick this animation is. Like, it just explodes into a bunch of lasers. And it does really well against the swarm of Whisperers I have here. It almost kills them instantly. It's kind of crazy. And for the next weapon, we have the Killer Wand with 125 base magic damage and a super sick right-click explosion ability. It's super overpowered. Now, against these fortress guys, though, they'll get drilled through instantly. It's not even funny. Now, for the next weapon, coming in at around 51 base melee damage, it doesn't seem too special, but let me show you what's really cool about this sword. If we put it up against this group of fortresses, although not having a lot of damage value, it still drills through them pretty easily, and I'm surprised. This weapon has a special ability that tosses just a bunch of different versions of this sword at them, and they all just roll frantically on the ground. It's insane. Now, this weapon is a little more unique, and it's called the Terraria. It does about 55 melee damage, and it doesn't seem all that special until you see the sick ability it has. Like, look at this. You hit these flower balls back and forth that do damage, and they spew out little petals that track enemies. And the way it attacks is low-key kind of satisfying, especially against these idlers. I mean, it doesn't do too much damage, again, but I just thought it was really unique. I've never seen anything like this. It almost reminds me of like a boomerang. Next, we have the Starbreaker, which deals about 81 base range damage, and is basically just the shotgun version of the star cannon, as you can see. It just shoots about like 5 or 6 of these little stars, and it does a pretty good amount of damage. And if you put it up against these like great toxic sludge guys, it just goes through hordes of them like it's nothing. And what's super nice is the stars bounce, so you get that little extra damage in. And finally, we have this ranged weapon called the Last Surprise, and it does about 51 base range damage. And it has a sick animation, as you guys can see. Just look at that. It is so cool, and it drills through enemies like it's nothing too. And just look how fast these headless pirates get killed. It's insane. Now, we have one of the first bosses you'll encounter called Spirit. And this boss is really sick, especially for pre-hard mode. You're going to make sure you want to have a good amount of mobility and defense for this fight, because you are going to need it. Now, granted, I just kind of did this on a whim, so my fighting isn't that great. It's kind of sloppy, but the attacks just get faster and faster the more you kill it, and the attacks are super unique. Now, I'm just gonna quickly skip to more towards the end of the fight where the attacks get more insane and just way faster, as you can see. And what's sick is that for a pre-hard mode boss, the AI is actually really good, because I've seen time and time again where mod creators just don't put enough effort into their pre-hard mode bosses. And honestly, this is probably one of my most favorite pre-hard mode bosses out of any mod general. Now, next we have the Insurgent boss, which is really sick. This is fought right after Terraria, right before the Golem, and it is one of the craziest bosses I've ever seen. And just like the last boss, the more you lower it, the faster it gets, and it gets really fast. Even at the start of the fight, I was struggling to dodge his hits. My biggest tip for this fight is probably get as much vertical speed as you can, as it really only moves horizontally. And if you have that vertical speed, you will be perfectly fine in being able to dodge most of his hits. If we skip towards the end of the fight, you can really see how fast he gets. He gets quite undodgeable right when he's about to die, and he just hits you attack after attack after attack, and it's quite hard. And as you can see here, I killed him, and the death animation is really sick. You got these floating skulls. You get quite some good loot. Anyways, that's pretty much all I'm going to show you guys. I want you guys to explore this all for yourself. I didn't want to show you every boss. I didn't want to show you every item. I want something for you guys to be able to, you know, learn on your own. Either way, I highly, highly recommend this mod. This is probably, I'd say, top 3, right behind a couple others. But anyways, if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that subscribe button and like this video. Comment your favorite part, and which do you like better, the Insurgent or the Spirit? Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.